So shall we start?
Okay.
Sige, just let me know pag mag-start na.
Okay. Joyce, I'll be doing a very short introduction. Also, I'll be playing a video message of Dr. Bredicina. And then that might take us for the entire introduction, it will take us 3 to 4 minutes. Tapos then we can begin. Okay.
Okay.
So, let me check kung if there are people watching with us na. So that simula. Sure. Gagamit ka po ng PowerPoint?
Yes, oo.
Okay.
Actually, sige.
Sige.
Kahit lang, actually more pictures lang yung PowerPoint.
Okay. So, I guess I'll start.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Diyos maray na hapon po, patro sa Situyang Gabos. I'm Earl Hernandez, the Museo Curator, and I'll be the moderator for this afternoon lecture. So, may I remind everyone that this lecture is currently being recorded and naka-live po tayo sa Facebook. So, before I start my very short introduction, let me play a very short video message of our university president. Okay.
I would like to endorse to our faculty members and the Balongibog Talks COVID-19 podcast developed by Partido State University. Minus faculty members from the Center for Partido Studies, Partido Institute of Economics, Museo Isarog, and College of Arts Sciences. This platform for intellectual discussion initiated by our very own Dr. Danilo Girona, Roland Bulao, Urjan Hernandez, Vanessa Romero, and Jason Aponte is a relevant and timely venue for dishing out meaningful and informative topics sourced from the fruited minds of faculty members that will not only reach knowledge about the pandemic, interpreted and discussed from different perspectives, but also inspire us to confront the health issue with deeper understanding within the confines of our world. This podcast has been graced by reputable scholars and academics from various universities, sharing their expertise and views to contribute to their own unique ways and helping us confront COVID challenges. My friends, in this time of confusion, I would like to encourage our faculty members and students to share similar insights and expertise on COVID-19 through this podcast, translating their energies into positive outputs that promote understanding, inspiration, and hope amidst our current events.
Okay, so today on behalf of the organizers and my colleagues, let me welcome you to the second part of the Balongibog Talks COVID-19 segment, Lecture 7. So now you can join us either via Zoom or Facebook Live. This is through the support of the Office of the University President and Office of the Board Secretary of the Partido State University. So this podcast series is sponsored and organized by the Partido State University through the Center for Partido Studies, directed by Dr. Danilo Girona, Partido Institute of Economics, directed by Roland John G. Bulao, the Museo de Isarog, the College of Arts and Sciences under the deanship of Dr. Erlinda Basilia, the Office of the University President, Dr. Raul Bredicina, the Office of the Board Secretary, Ms. Leanne Odonio, PASPECO, student volunteers, and Ateneo Naga University Social Sciences Department, chaired by Ms. Mary Joyce Bulao. She'll be doing the lecture this afternoon. So just a short background of our activity yesterday. We talked about philosophy and COVID-19 with Dr. Mike Hernandez of the Ateneo Naga University. So for our lecture this afternoon, we are going to share insights on politics and COVID-19. Our lecturer this afternoon is Miss Mary Joyce Bulao. She's a political science professor of of the Department of Social Sciences of the Ateneo Naga University. Her lecture is on the politics of COVID-19 multi-level analysis.
Okay. All right. Okay, so today, okay na ba, Earl? Can I start?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'll be talking about the politics of COVID-19, and I'm just going to give some sort of an overview because medyo mahaba, no? Yung medyo malaki yung topic na ito, and what I'm going to give you is more of a backgrounder at the 3 levels. So what will this presentation be about? Basically, it's about what has been, that's before the pandemic, what is, no, what's happening while the pandemic is, while we are experiencing the pandemic itself, and what are the possible consequences of such. So yung sinasabi ko dito na multi-level analysis would be 3 levels of analysis. First, at the international or the global level. The second, the national. And the third would be the local level. So this actually spans from IR to local. So medyo mahaba, kaya please bear with me. Okay, so before I start discussing the politics of something, let me first introduce the concept of politics. Hindi naman lahat major in political science, di ba? So ano ba pag sinabi nating politics? Ano ba ang politics? So meron tayong mga tawag dito, mga famous definitions from political scientists. So one would be the art of the possible, the attainable, the art of the next best. So ano ba ang art of the possible? This is again something that's this is very broad, no? The art of the possible, the attainable. Now, Harold Laswell's definition is one of the most famous, no? Talking about who gets what, when, and how. Basically, no, this talks about the concept of power. Who gets what, sino ang nakakakuha ng kung ano, kailan, at paano. No? So this is one of the reasons why this is very popular, because it's basically anchored on the concept of power. And then a more political economy definition would look at politics as an authoritative allocation of values. So allocation of values, no? Big sabihin, ano ang binibigay nating value, no? And then you have the concept of authority. Now, when I talk about the politics of COVID-19, I'll be talking about politics as a social activity. In all these definitions, ang tingin natin sa politics would be a social activity, no? A social activity that involves power, that involves, no, allocation of values, but no, in a broader sense, it involves people, it involves groups, it involves institutions, and how they interact, how people interact with other people, how people interact in groups, how groups interact with other people, no? And how people interact with institutions, and etc. So basically, ang sasabihin natin, the politics of COVID-19 would be the dynamics. What is the political dynamics at the 3 different levels, at the international, the national, and the local level? So before the pandemic, what do we see at the international? international system. Let's start at the international or the global level. At least Japanese food. Sabi mo, saan ginawa yung cellphone mo? Sa China. Saan galing yung kotse ng ganitong tao? Binili yan sa Germany. Di ba? I mean, we have products from all over the world. So, the most significant level of globalization is seen at the economic level through trade. Di ba? So, alam naman natin na, di ba, kasi nung pinag-aralan ng economics, sabi sa economics, kailangan daw mas mababa, para mas mababa yung mas mababa yung price, no? Tingnan natin kung saan yung pinakamababang way para mag-produce niyan. That's why, no, some parts, for example, of a car may come from the US, some parts may come from India or from wherever, and then it's put together in the Philippines or maybe in China or wherever, okay? Wherever labor would be cheaper. So, meron tayong mataas na level ng globalization for economic purposes, for development purposes. Another aspect of globalization would be technological, but because of technology, it's very easy to communicate, it's very easy to transact with people all over the world. No? Aside from that, meron tayong cultural globalization. Kasi nga, di ba, mas madali na ang movement ng tao, ng products, ng mga bagay-bagay. So, ang culture, madali na rin nating na-acquire. Sino ba ang mga K-popers, di ba? Ang dami ng mga K-popers sa Pilipinas. No, bakit alam natin yung mga anime? It's basically, it's not a unique Filipino culture. It's a Japanese culture. No? Ang K-pop, Korean yan, di ba? Yung ating American dreams, saan ba nang gagaling yan? No? Hollywood, and etc. No? Ay, sorry, may doble pala dyan. And then you also have environmental globalization. Ano itong sinasabi nating environmental globalization? Well, partly, let's talk about maybe tourism, di ba? So aside from that, there's also a growing concern for the environment. And then we have demographic globalization. Bakit? Because of intermarriages, migration, diba? So all these, no, tell us that there is a very high level of globalization at present. Now, all these countries, no, have benefited much economically because of globalizations. I won't be naming them. They're just some of the most the richest countries and those countries benefiting from the high level of globalization. So that's the state of affairs at the international system before we experience this pandemic. Aside from that, no, we can also say that international organizations have a certain level of significance, now play a certain level of play a significant role rather in the international system. Bakit? Kasi nagkaroon na ng maraming international organizations not only as engines of cooperation, not only for security purposes, but more for economic purposes. So, marami ng mga organizations, meron tayong mga regional organizations, meron tayong international, transnational, ang dami-dami ng mga organizations na to, no? So, in other words, we've seen the significance of institutions, international institutions, to help the different states, no, economically, politically, socially, etc. Now, with the pandemic, what happened at the international level? So, yung una sa lahat, we expect the institution, ang World Health Organization, to be on top of everything. Okay? So, why is it important that we pay attention to the World Health Organization? Kasi sila ang organization na makakatulong para makapag-respond appropriately ang mga countries or ang mga states, no? Let me use states, ang mga states na merong problema sa COVID-19. Ngayon, no, yung nangyari is that yes, the World Health Organization has always been there giving people updates on what's happening around the world, etc. However, no, nagkaroon ng problema. Bakit? Kasi no, some states have been questioning, number one, why the WHO failed to declare COVID-19 as a pandemic. May mga nagsasabi na nag-iingat lang ang World Health Organization kasi halimbawa ang H1N1 no, na preempt no, mali daw yung pagsabi na ito ay naging epidemic na. So nag-iingat lang daw ang World Health Organization. However, no, nagkaroon din ng pagdududa kasi nga, 'di ba? Kasi bakit sobrang tagal na? May tinatago ba ang World Health Organization? May pinoprotect ba ang World Health Organization? Halimbawa, isa, no, you'll see that on your screen. There's this news of how China helped put the Director General, World Health Organization Director General, into his position. And some organizations, some people are claiming that maybe it's because of this that the World Health Organization has not declared COVID-19 a pandemic at an earlier rate. Okay? So bakit ito significant? Ano naman pakialam natin, di ba? Nandito naman tayo sa Pilipinas. Ano naman? So, bakit importante yung pag-declare ng WHO na ang COVID-19 ay isang pandemic? Kasi, no, ang pag-declare na ito ay pandemic ay makakatulong, no? Makakatulong sana para maagapan ang pagkalat pa at mabigyan ng appropriate response ng iba-ibang states, no? So it could have because of the late or the delayed declaration of WHO, may mga grupo na nagsasabi that it complicated authorities to work to curb the spread of the virus. And in the end, no, mas malala na siya kesa sa actual na sinasabi ng World Health Organization. Ngayon, ano naman ngayon? Ang problema dito is that this actually undermines the credibility of the World Health Organization as an international organization for health. Di ba? So, nagbibigay ito ng question sa strength ng institutions. Now, I'm talking about the political science point of view in which institutions are an important component in the international system. So, what happened? Basically, response to the COVID-19 pandemic was left at the state level. So makikita natin dito, I'm sure you've seen this particular article telling us how women leaders have actually revolutionized responding to pandemic. So we have Germany, New Zealand, Denmark, Iceland, Finland, Norway. Now, aside from the fact that they're all women, no, it's actually the response of the government. Iba-iba ang response ng iba-ibang state sa pandemic. So pag meron ng COVID-19, iba-iba yung mga response nila. Yung iba, lockdown agad. Yung iba, wala pang case, nag-lockdown na, etc. So, ang sinasabi ko dito is that, no, different states were responding differently to the pandemic issue. Aside from that, responding differently at a different rate. No? And we expect that for states anyway. Okay? Now, if we are going to look at a more uniform response, we can say that ang pinaka unified na response would be to close the border. Bakit ganon? Kasi pwede mong malimitahan, no, ang pag-transmit ng virus. Ngayon, you'll see here, no, that most countries in the world have imposed partial or complete border closures to foreign nationals due to COVID-19, due to the coronavirus outbreak. So makikita natin, merong partial closure, complete closure. At ano naman ang ibig sabihin nito sa international system, no? Ano ang pwedeng maging implikasyon nito? Ano ang pwedeng maging implikasyon nito sa global system? Well, ang pinakamalaking epekto nito would be economic, no? Economic. But aside from the economic, kasi hindi ko naman yun area of expertise, no? We will see here an assertion of state power. So, makikita natin kanya-kanyang kampay ang mga states, no? And those countries who can do better, who have more, especially economically, can actually act better because they can, for example, do mass testing, which we cannot afford, right? So that's why we can see that some countries close their borders right away or close their borders before any case, while others could not do that. No? Others could not do that. Now, aside from looking at the response now per state, we also see at the international level some sort of disagreement as to the use of information. No? Kasi may mga nagsasabi na ang China daw nagko-conceal ng extent ng virus outbreak. Bakit naman nila gagawin yon? So, bakit daw nila gagawin yon? So, bakit naman si Trump, no? Ang ginagawa naman ni Trump ngayon ay sinasabi niya na Chinese virus ito. Bakit naman kailangan, 'di ba, instead of responding to the issue right away or responding to the pandemic and caring for the people, providing their needs, etc., ang sinasabi niya naman ay kasalanan to ng China, no? Dala to ng China. This is actually an information, some sort of an information war. Saan ba galing ang COVID-19? At bakit ayaw ng China na paimbestigahan kung saan nanggaling ang COVID-19 at bakit naman naggumagawa ang US ng mga, what we call that, can we say stories? Kasi hindi naman wala kasing wala namang kasing, it's more of a conspiracy theory, no? Wala namang evidence pa that it's for example that the coronavirus is actually man-made. So, bakit ganito? So, this tells us that there is a geopolitical this has become a geopolitical issue. So, bakit as we know, no, yung US at ang China ay meron ng trade war dati pang merong trade war, and that, no, China, this tells us that China is continuously trying to assert its position, its hegemonic position in the international system. So why is China trying to cover this up? Why is China not allowing studies about the origin of COVID-19 surface, no? Yung mga researches na na-publish, pinull out. Bakit ganon? Because they're protecting their image in the international system. So ang is if you will look at it at the IR theoretical level, pwede mong sabihin na okay, so pwede kong mas nag-way out yung realist perspective ngayon kaysa institutionalist. Kasi ang lumalabas, no, states are left on their own. So kanya-kanyang kampay sila. But the powerful states actually want to use the opportunity of this pandemic to either, no, maintain their position or challenge the position of hegemony, for example. Can we actually say hegemony? So, sige, just to simplify things siguro. To China and the rest of the world. So all eyes have yung i-blame ang China, pangalanan nito yung China virus. Anong ginagawa ng China? China is buying properties in Europe. China, no, established new districts in South China Sea. They call it South China Sea, but for us it's the West Philippine Sea, right? So China, in other words, is trying to use trying not to focus on the pandemic itself. Rather, it's focusing more on the economic gains. Okay, so it's trying to pull its market up again. Now, how is the world responding to this? If we look at the response, no, we have Google, Microsoft moving out of China, and then Australia calling for global inquiry, Japan saying that they will pay firms, so these firms would leave China, etc. So anong sinasabi nito? This means that while China is trying hard to its position, powerful states are telling China that they can't alter this geopolitical system that we are already in. In any case, no, nakikita natin na there's a possibility of change in the geopolitical dynamics after COVID-19. Ngayon naman, no, let me talk about COVID-19 at the national level. Ano naman ang ginagawa at the national level at ano naman ang politika na nakikita natin dito? So, first, no, ang tanong, meron bang unified strategy ang national government? Ang sinasabi nila, meron. Sabi ng DOH, number one, ang strategy, enhance community quarantine and social distancing. Number two, contact, increase testing. And number four, improve case management. Ngayon, ang tanong dito, kung ito yung strategy, ano yung ginagawa mismo na nakikita natin para suportahan itong strategies na to? So makikita natin na meron tayong IATF on emerging infectious diseases. This is actually not a new agency. Dati na itong meron, this is under the this was created, may mga bagong tao na in crisis. So, nagkaroon tayo ng enhanced community quarantine, policies for social distancing, contact tracing, yes. Pero ang tanong, no, kailan ito nangyari? Okay? Kailan ito nangyari? So, maraming mga iba-ibang efforts, ang iba-ibang organizations sa loob ng national government, no, na hindi alam kung paano i-coordinate. At nakikita natin yan. So for example, one organization is doing something else and then another organization is doing something else. Now, aside from that, anong nangyari sa increased testing? Ang ting natin, yung mass testing ay ginawa, nag-start lang April 14. Kailan ang first case sa Pinas? Na Pilipino, February 3, if I'm not mistaken. So, ang sinasabi natin at the national level, they are saying that there is a strategy, but it's not comprehensive enough. No, it seems that it's not comprehensive enough. Because of lack of, I say maybe planning. I'm not really tungkol dito kasi nga wala naman talagang nag-expect na magkakaroon ng pandemic. Pero no, yung kung kailan nangyari ang mga actions would be crucial at the time na dumadami ang namamatay because of COVID-19. Ngayon, bakit natin tinatanong kung meron bang unified strategy? Kasi, no, may mga lumabas na issue na tinatanong yung iba-ibang government agency, wag ganito. Bakit hinuhuli ninyo yung ganito, di ba? And this is the national government saying to the other departments, to the local government agencies, hindi, ganito dapat yung gagawin nyo. Hindi pwede yan, no? So that what we can see is that the national government is more of reactive, no? Rather than proactive. Anong ibig nating sabihin? Nagre-react lang sila sa kung ano ang nangyayari at gagawa sila ng policy base sa kung ano ang nangyayari. So kumbaga kulang ang foresight, sorry. Alright. Bakit gano'n sa national level? So, even before the pandemic, we can say that in the Philippines, no, the executive holds more and judiciary. So, you will understand what is more power. So, bakit mas concentrated ang power sa executive? So, just to illustrate, no, kung gaano ba ka-concentrated yung power sa executive, nung nag-start yung pandemic, sabi ni President Duterte, kayang-kaya natin to. Huwag kayong magpanic. Kayang-kaya natin to. And then, no, on March, ano nang sinasabi niya? Hindi natin to kakayanin na ganito lang. Kailangan ko ng emergency power. So humingi siya ng emergency power sa Congress. I highlighted this here kasi, no, March 22, if you will look at the slide, no, March 22, Duterte asks Congress for emergency powers. And March 24, no, the Philippine Congress grants Duterte special powers. Ito yung sinasabi natin, na the executive gets what he wants. Okay? So there will be different explanations for that from different textbooks in Philippine government and politics. And I'd rather not talk about that right now. But what I'm saying is that makikita natin centralized ang power at decision-making dito. Aside from the power of the executive, the power of Manila. No? Masyado tayong Manila-centric. I mean, diba, tanggapin na natin. Nandun talaga ang seat of power. So, pagdating sa central-local relations, no, makikita natin na powerful ang national government. At ano ang LGU, no? They're not really, are they seen as partners? That's a question. Okay? So, when Duterte placed Luzon on lockdown naman the tao. So, anong naman nila? Mababaw, no? It's possible that they're bringing now. So what happened is that LGUs now had to lead the fight, and we can see that even in the news, no? So CNN Philippines reports LGUs to lead the fight versus COVID-19. So sila na ngayon. Ang question is, at this point in time, no, tinatanong natin kanina, meron bang comprehensive national strategy? At this point, wala pa. So, ipinasa na siya sa LGU. Bahala kayo na ang mag-contact tracing, kayo na mag-isolate. Pero, no, wala pang national strategy na ibinababa. Kailan ibinaba yung national strategy? Noong nalaman na marami ng cases sa mga probinsya. Okay? So, what happened? So, LGUs had to accommodate all the concerns regarding COVID-19, including contact tracing, no, readying healthcare facilities, not just healthcare facilities, but also isolation areas, etc. So, nung nagkaroon ng enhanced community quarantine sa buong Luzon, ang nangyari is, ang problema ng LGU, kailangan nilang pakainin yung mga tao, di ba? So, marami Manila, for example, ipinasa yung responsibility sa LGU. Ang tanong ngayon, kaya ba ito ng mga LGU? Meron bang kakayanan yung LGU na i-handle ang situation? So, meron namang ginawa, no, ang ginawa, no, at the regional level, nagkaroon ng interagency task force, and of course, no, at the local level, makikita natin sa mga LGUs na gumawa rin sila ng sarili nilang municipal or city level task force. In any case, no, makikita natin na ang central-local relations mas may power kasi yung national government positive cases, di ba, mas mahirap i-contain yun. Mas magiging malaki yung problema ng local government unit. So it is but rational that local government units close their borders. Ang problema, no? Ang problema, anong mangyayari pag nag-close ng borders ang isang municipality at another municipality? Anong mangyayari sa mga tao na dati, no, who can freely transfer from one municipality to another. No? For example, alam naman natin, for example, dito sa Kamsur, ang Naga City, no? Or ang Legazpi sa Albay. So, center siya. Maraming nagtatrabaho sa Naga na hindi naman taga-Naga. Ngayon, nung nag-close ng borders, no, ang problema, pwedeng nandito pa sila sa Naga, pwedeng estudyante sila, hindi sila makalipat ng municipality. Wala dito yung mga pangakailangan nila. So, ano ang isa pang mas malaking no? We've seen this in the news. So, yung mga produce ng mga localities, hindi na i-distribute sa market. So, it's a dual problem. The one, yung supply, no? Yung halimbawa, yung Cordillera, sila ang nagsusupply ng vegetable sa the rest of Luzon. Ang problema, because of the ECQ, hindi makatravel yung gulay galing sa Cordillera papuntang iba-ibang probinsya. Bakit? Kasi nga, may mga border closures. So, hindi mabilis yung pag-transfer ng gulay. At isa pa, no, hindi lang basta hindi mabilis, yung iba hindi talaga nakakapasok. Bakit? Kasi iba-iba yung implementation ng LGU. Bakit? Kasi nga, wala pang national, unified, comprehensive plan on how to go about it. Nagkaroon later na. Okay? So, ano pa ba? Local relations. Meron din tayong mga kaso ng mga stranded, no? Na mga stranded na mga tao, naglakad na lang, you know, you've seen that in the news. But I think producing because of the closure of the borders, importanteng tingnan natin sila, pero ang tingin ko konti lang, no? Konti lang. Kasi tinulungan naman sila eventually ng mga LGUs na makauwi sa kanilang mga bahay. Ngayon, no, ang mas gusto kong tingnan would be the LGU on its own. So this is now at the local level. Okay? Standalone na yung LGU na lang. So, kailangan nating tandaan na ang LGUs, may iba-iba naman silang capacities. Iba-iba yung financial capabilities ng LGU. Karamihan, especially dito sa Kamsur, no, IRA-dependent. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin, mababa lang ang income nila. Ngayon, dahil sa enhanced community quarantine, maraming tao ang hindi makapagtrabaho. So ano kailangan gawin ng gobyerno? Kailangan pakainin ng gobyerno yon. Ang tanong, no, yung budget ng local government, kasya ba para makapagbigay sa maraming tao, no, sa lahat ng nasasakupan? So, there's a big difference between high-income and low-income LGUs. So we keep saying, especially pag nakikita natin yung mga posts about Vico Soto, no, Pasig City is 1.5 billion fund for families not covered by government subsidy. Di ba? Wow, meron din silang 8,000. Bakit sa mga sa ibang mga municipalities or cities, wala namang ganon. Hindi nila kayang ganon. Hindi it may not necessarily be ayaw ng mayor nila, kundi pwedeng hindi naman kasi kaya ng municipality nila. Kasi pwedeng mababa lang ang income nila. So what we're saying here is that different capabilities could lead to different responses, could lead to different actions in terms of LGUs. And we see that among the LGU responses. Ngayon, hindi ibig sabihin though na dahil mababa ang income, mababa ang budget ng isang LGU, wala na siyang magagawa. Pwede siyang maging innovative about it, right? So, ang sinasabi lang natin, may iba-ibang capacities yung LGUs. Pangalawa, no? Meron ding iba-ibang klase ng leader ang mga LGUs. So, meron tayong personalistic na leader. Meron tayong leader na mass-based. Meron tayong leader na nasa ibang bayan nakatira. Diba? I mean, what I'm saying is, leadership styles may differ. So, merong mayor na makikita mo agad sa lansangan, no? Meron namang mga mayor na nasa opisina lang. So, iba-iba yung responses. At dahil dito, iba-iba rin yung demand ng mga tao during the crisis. Now, aside from that, no, most importantly, aside from leadership, would be the system of governance in a particular city or municipality. No? Bakit? Kasi ang ECQ nagde-demand na magbigay ng mga pangangailangan sa mga tao. Ngayon, sa aling mga LGUs, mas madali yung pagbibigay ng mga kailangan ng tao. Yung mga LGUs na meron ng sistema. Those LGUs who already have access to people in need, and those LGUs which already have established programs for those people in need. So ang sinasabi ko dito in political science terms would be programmatic goods distributions, no? Programmatic goods and service provision. So if LGUs already have that, it would be easier for them. So makikita natin na yung mga LGUs na meron ng mga programa, mas mabilis, mas madali yung pag-identify nila ng mga beneficiaries ng mas malaking tulong. Samantala, yung mga personalistic, mas mahirap, mas nagre-rely sila sa community level, nagre-rely sila sa barangay captain. Paano yung sinasabi natin personalistic? Kasi 'di ba, sanay tayo na pag mayor, alam naman natin na nangyayari, everyday may pupunta sa office, may hihingi at si mayor magbibigay galing sa bulsa. Okay? So, why is this problematic at the time of COVID-19? Because everyone, almost everyone in a city or municipality would be asking for something. So, hindi na siya yung ipa-isa-isa kung sino lang yung pumunta, kailangan ng bigyan lahat. Bakit? Kasi kailangan namang lahat kumain, di ba? So, yung systematic na distribution, yung mahirap at mas makakatulong doon yung kasi ng governance na mas programmatic. Okay? And lastly, makikita natin na may mga LGUs na nagsistand out. At itong mga LGUs na to ay meron na ngang tinatawag na best practices, best LGU practices at the time of COVID. So, despite different leaderships, despite different capacities, despite different systems of governance, merong LGUs na nagpapakita na hindi hadlang yung differences na to para maka-come up with a strategy to address the needs of the people at the same time, support the goal of the national of fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. So, the thing is, despite all these, marami pa rin. Makikita natin yung Iloilo, si Vico Soto, meron din somewhere sa tawag dito, sa north, Well, these are in the news. Pero alam naman natin, even sa local, meron ding mga magagaling na mga mayor. So despite this, sinasabi natin na hindi dahil may mga best practices tayo, okay itong sistema na to. Bakit? Kasi in general, sabi nga ng analysis ng DLSU JRIG, ill-prepared pa din ng LGUs. Hindi natin kailangan ng random na best practices. Kailangan natin ng isang comprehensive plan for the LGU because the LGU should be partner of the national government. And how can LGU better do perform its role in the partnership than be prepared or be provided with a comprehensive system on how they can deliver the deliverables, whatever is expected of them. Okay? So, yon. Lastly, makikita natin na ang civil society ay vibrant at the time of COVID-19 pandemic. So, I just put here 2, pero makikita natin maraming civil society groups ang nag-organize, agad-agad nag-organize ng fundraising, ng food packs distribution, ng tawag dito, ng PPEs para sa healthcare workers, ng transportation para sa healthcare workers, sa frontliners, diba? All these, makikita natin na ang civil society very active at this time. Na samantalang dati sinasabi natin na ang civil society parang waning na, But at the time of the pandemic, we see a vibrant civil society, so which is a good indicator. It's a good indicator for democracy. But resilience is not an excuse for bad governance. So just because people are working shouldn't mean na we cannot look at what's happening at the governmental level. Okay, so what is COVID-19 telling us so far? This is my last slide, bear with me. So far, what is this telling us? Number one, there's a changing geopolitical landscape. As to what will happen to China, we don't know. But what is certain is that China is asserting its power in the international community. Whether it will succeed, or whether other powerful states from rising, we don't know just yet. Second, leadership is very important. Ito na yun sabihin natin na, buti pa si Vico ang mayor nyo. No? Buti pa sa New Zealand na mabilis na address yung pandemic sa New Zealand. Now, why do we look at it na sana all? Di ba? Sinasabi natin, sana all. Pwede naman. Bakit? Kasi demokrasya tayo. You choose the leaders. People choose the leaders. So if there is anything significant happening in the political sphere right now, is that we are seeing the result of our choices. Electoral choices. Sino ba ang binoto natin? So, kung ano man yung ginagawa ng mayor nyo, isipin nyo na yan yung mayor na pinili nyo, yan yung mayor na binotohan nyo. If you want a better mayor, then vote for a better mayor. So people are now seeing the significance of leadership. And how else do we choose our leaders but through elections? So hopefully, this would actually lead to more informed electoral choices. Third, COVID-19 is telling us that we have problems in terms of policy priorities. The healthcare system has long been ignored. So baka panahon na para pagtuunan natin ng pansin ang mga aspeto na hindi natin tinutugunan, hindi natin tinitingnan hindi natin binibigyan ng mas maraming mas maraming pansin. We are not prioritizing the healthcare industry. So this could lead to a change or a shift, in policy priority. Now, aside from that, we also see the priorities, for example, for education. So ngayon, hindi pwedeng mag-aral, hindi pwedeng hindi pwedeng mag-aral is that we can't go to school so that we can conduct classes, So we see the significance of changing certain policies in education to help us adapt to the needs of the times. And lastly, nakikita natin ang significance ng information. And hindi lang ito basta information, kundi tamang information. At the time na maraming fake news ang nagkalat, ngayon natin na-realize na kapag marami palang fake news, pwede tayong ma-mislead. At kailangan pala natin ng reliable sources of information. We go back to the reliable sources of information. We don't anymore look at influencers at this point. We look for information in legitimate websites, from legitimate organizations, from legitimate government agencies. So we see the significance of accurate, correct information. So yun. Basically, yun lang yun. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Joyce, for that very insightful lecture. I guess we can entertain questions now. But basically, to give a quick summary, Ma'am Joyce talked about the global politics of COVID, and on the national, and then up to the local politics of COVID. So she divided this at least in these three levels. So now we can entertain questions. Okay, there's a question from Mr. Mero. Her question is, do you think the president will lift the ECQ this April 30? Can the Philippines afford another extension of the ECQ?
I'm not sure if I'm in the position to predict now whether ECQ will be lifted. Pero sa tingin ko, no, in terms of whether we can afford the extension, depends on which parts of the Philippines will remain under enhanced community quarantine. Kasi if you're following the news, they're actually entertaining the idea of modified community quarantine, in which certain areas may have a modified community quarantine set up, in which certain businesses can already operate, but other organizations may still be prohibited to make sure that we have physical distancing. So depende pa rin sa number of cases ito. We cannot really say, but we see the need for an extension given the number of cases, no, especially I would still say that there's still lack of testing despite the mass testing na nangyayari. Kasi kung titingnan natin, galing base doon sa DOH na terminologies, no, wala na yung mga PUI, PUM, right? Pinalitan na nila. Ano na ngayon? Ano yun? Can you help me here, Earl? Probable, possible, tama? Ito na yung mga ngayon, suspect, probable. Ito na yung terminologies na ginagamit ng DOH. And in yung mga terminologies na ito, nawala na yung konsepto ng PUM, no? Person under monitoring. Kasi hindi natin tinitingnan yung mga asymptomatic. Ang tinitest lang natin ay yung mga symptomatic, no? At yung may mga direct contact sa symptomatic. So, we're not really sure as to the real numbers now given that particular situation. So, whether we should, the government should lift the extension or not will depend largely on the number of cases and how reliable contact tracing is being done. And we can see that in Metro Manila, medyo malabo pa yon, no? Sa mga probinsya, we'll see. But if we can afford it, the truth is, no, we hardly can. So, wala na mapakain ng mga tao. Sa local level, paubos na rin ng budget nila. Bakit? Kasi hello, dependent nga karamihan sa mga municipalities natin, di ba? So, pag naubos yung pera nila, saan na sila kukuha? Wala nang ibang pagkukuhanan. Unless, of course, the national government provides that.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Any more questions? Yeah, you can for attendees, you can raise your hand, and I can allow you to talk if you want to directly ask your question to Ms. Bulao. Okay. So while we're waiting for some questions, maybe I was listening a while ago of about the naming of the COVID-19 as the Wuhan virus or the China virus. Is there an implication of starting to use the name of changing the name of Wuhan virus or China virus in terms of global and local politics? Is there an implication?
May implication yan definitely sa global politics, no? Hindi masyado sa dito sa local, pero definitely there's an implication for the international level. Bakit? Kasi sa global politics, pag pinangalanan mo yung Wuhan virus or China virus, you're actually implicating China. Right? Especially given the fact that the WHO already called it COVID-19. Buti sana kung sa simula pa lang, no, pinangalanan na siyang China virus or Wuhan virus. Walang masyadong politics doon. Pero dahil pinangalanan na siyang COVID-19 at ngayon papalitan para maging China virus or Wuhan virus, ang lumalabas is the World Health Organization would be implicating China. And that also tells us, no, that those claims from Germany, di ba, nagbibigay ng claim ang Germany sa China that you have to pay a certain billions of euros kasi we're losing money because of that virus. No? So, ibig sabihin, merong basis for that. So, malaki ang global impact ng pagre-rename nito, which I don't think will happen kasi that would be risking another problem.
Okay. Before, I have a follow-up, but there's a question sa Facebook Live po natin from Ms. Joby Cadores. her question is, would it be more efficient and effective if the government will also have a comprehensive system for the efforts of the civil society in the helping with the COVID-19 efforts, or is it better to leave it to the people to decide where to put their efforts or donations?
Ano yan eh, it's actually, there's a pro and a con to that. So, if there is a centralized system for civil society efforts, then we lessen the chances of ano ba, double donations. So, ibig sabihin, may mga tao na nabibigyan ulit, nabibigyan ng paulit-ulit kasi sila yung tinitingnan ng iba-ibang organizations na nangangailangan. Eh, hindi naman alam ng mga organizations na yon na meron na palang ibang organizations na tumutulong sa same group. So we are risking that, no, without a centralized system. However, with the centralized system, we are risking red tape. Bakit? Kasi sa dami ng mga nagbibigay na civil society organizations, kung ilalagyan natin ng sistema at dadaan sa isang grupo, ang problema, gaano kabilis itong grupo nito, gaano kalaki ang manpower nito para mabilis ang processing para masabi natin na pwede nang gumalaw yung civil society at para sa ang grupo. So it's actually a double-edged sword. We're not sure as to which would be better. Pero kung titingnan natin at the local level, possible itong centralized system na ito. Depende sa sistema na ibibigay ng local government. Pero at the national level, I don't think that would be effective at this time.
Okay po. Thank you for answering the question, Ma'am Joyce. There's another question. Okay lang po.
Okay, sige lang.
From Arce, participant natin sa Zoom. What are the possible economic repercussions of this pandemic sa global and national level?
Well, ang definite na effect ng COVID-19 ito, especially given the lockdown of states, of localities, municipalities, no, makikita natin, ang definite nitong repercussion would be a recession. No? At sinabi na yan ng mga finance organizations all over the world, even at the state level, at the international level, ine-expect na ang recession. So we'll be very lucky na kung halimbawang hindi tayo umabot sa punto na yon, no? But we are hopeful that there'll still be economic growth. But at the global level, there's definitely going to be a recession. As to how big the recession will depend on how long, no, the lockdowns will be all over the world.
Thank you. More questions? While habang nandito
By the
po sa
way,
atin
sa local level, nakikita agad natin yung epekto niyan, di ba? Halimbawa, naka-lockdown ang ang Naga City. Hindi makapag-operate ang mga businesses, no? May mga fixed cost ang mga businesses, kailangan bayaran, pero wala silang income. So this could actually lead to a closure of the small and medium enterprises, yung mga SMEs natin. Kaya nga nagbibigay ng tulong ngayon ang national government through DOLE, bibigay sila kasi alam nila na at risk yung mga small and medium enterprises. So yung mga small businesses pwedeng mag-close dahil dito. Kasi kailangang i-maintain yung mga costs, yung tinatawag na so yun lang.
Okay.
Hello, Earl.
Medyo unstable po yung internet ko. Sorry. Probably last question, ma'am. If I know, pwede pong, galing po to sa akin, pero I know baka interested din malaman ng ibang tao yung question. Will we have a martial law type scenario after the April 30?
Opo. After that, sorry?
Are we going to have or experience an ML type scenario after the April 30 ECQ?
Okay. to say na definitely magkakaroon ng ganun, parang wala tayong masyadong basis for that. But we are seeing a government that is inclined to use the military. So, alam natin na under this administration, there's a big possibility that the military will be used if the people in government deem it necessary. So, pwedeng mangyari kasi nakikita natin na reliant sa military at sa AFP ang administrasyong ito. So, yun nga yung, di ba, yun yung panawagan na solusyong medical, hindi militar, no? Na tinake naman literally ng iba. Pero hindi natin sinasabi na definitely mangyayari, hindi rin natin masasabi na mangyayari. So, ang masasabi lang natin, kung kakailanganin, posibleng mangyari. Kung kakailanganin sa perspective ng gobyerno.
Okay. I guess okay na po tayo. On behalf of the organizing committee and our participants, thank you po Ma'am Joyce for joining us. Marami po kami natutunan. Maraming salamat po. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about anthropology of food during the COVID. So thank you so much po. We're going to, meron po kaming survey na sinend or isa-send ipo-post. You may call to the 1 to 2 minute survey para po as a form of